I'm going home to Abilene, to the place in which I've never seen. Who tied this knot? Ugh. I said I'm going home to Abilene, to the place in which I'd never seen. Oh! Oh, no. Oh. Oh. Damn. Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. Hey, how y'all doing? This is TJ with Fake It or Make It. I hope everybody's doing well. You know, it's always bittersweet whenever it's time to buy a new everyday carry pocket knife. And I've had every kind of pocket knife you could possibly imagine. I've carried one since I was a small kid. And, you know, I've had just tons of knives over the years. And whenever you get a pocket knife that you can actually hold on to and you don't lose, that's usually the benchmark of that being a good pocket knife. And I've had some really expensive pocket knives and I've had some really cheap ones. And as you may guess, the cheap pocket knives are always the ones that, you know, you really don't like and you're not really that proud of, but you can't ever seem to lose them. I wanted to treat myself this time and get a nice knife and hopefully be able to hang on to it. I actually had an expensive knife one time and it got the belt or the pocket clip got hung up under the leg straps on my fall protection, and it actually went in the water, and it was February, so it was pretty cold. I actually got down in my boxers and went and tried to retrieve the knife out of the creek, but the only thing I caught was pneumonia and some extreme hypothermia. So I'm not going to do that anymore. But a friend of mine has always told me about cold steel knives, and I started looking into it, and I thought it was just one of those things, cold steel knives, like you watch them late on the QVC channel and, you know, act now, call now, you can have this knife for 3 easy payments of $49.99, you know, all that crap, you know. So whenever I started looking into it and watching some videos, this is the very little fanfare of a package that my knife came in. But I decided to go with the AD15. And this is the production version of the Scorpion Lock knife that was designed by Andrew Demko. And I haven't even opened it up yet. I've been waiting to make the video. I'm really excited about this knife. It seems to have some really cool quality. So let me get ready and we'll dive into this thing, take a good close look at it and talk about it. The AD15, the cold steel. This is a really cool knife, and I'm going to go ahead and unbox it. I haven't even gotten a good look at it yet, so let's go ahead and use the old knife to cut the tape there. Has some pretty good weight to it. Of course, bubble wrap, that's always fun. Wow, this thing is a beast. You can definitely feel the difference in the heft and the quality just at my fingertips. I prefer a heavier knife. This is really, really light. The old knife is really light. This has some heft to it. Wow, that's going to take some getting used to. I'm so used to hitting, just barely touching it, and then the knife flinging, the blade opening up on its own. Oh my goodness, this thing is scary sharp. So the cool thing about this particular knife is the Scorpion lock system, in which you have this hardened crossbar, this pin right here, and it goes and locks into a notch on the rear of the blade, and inherently that's going to make this lockup of this blade even stronger, because you're gripping down onto the back of the knife handle, further locking that in place. And I'll put in the cards a really good torture test video of one of these knives by a guy on the channel of I think it's Jimmy Slash. I'll put some cards up in the corner and you can go check that out. And I was actually cringing and gagging the whole time I was watching him beat this knife up, but he did not hurt that knife in any way. So that just further solidified you know, my reasoning for getting this knife. And you know, a lot of knives out there these days, you know, are kind of the tactical type thing, and I do like those knives, but in the end, you know, they have like all these crazy, you know, blade profiles and stuff like that. This to me is a tool, and being able to grip it and lock this thing in even tighter is a huge deal to me. There's no wiggle whatsoever in this knife. I got tons tons of wiggle, and that was like that whenever I got this knife. There's tons of play right here. This thing is just a beast. And I'll go ahead and tell you that, again, this is a production version of a knife that was designed by Andrew Demko, and there's another version of this that's a custom version that he puts out, and it's like $650–700. But from what I've gleaned, you know, from reading and seeing what people said about this, is that this is plenty of knife if you're not collecting it. This is that this knife is just great for the value, and there's no need to spend the extra money on the custom version. But this blade sports a S35 VN steel blade with flat grinds with a drop point. Again, the locking system is called the Scorpion lock system. Kind of makes sense, comes over the top and locks down. G10 scales right here. Now, I would have preferred black because the rest of my EDC stuff is black, but my secondary color is this OD green or olive green, and I know that sounds kind of silly, but you know, whatever. You know, I don't know what to say about that. I know, you know, matching things. I mean, this will go just fine, but it's just whatever. I'm not even gonna go there. So the S35 VN steel was developed by Crucible Industries by a lady named Maria Salford, and it's a modified version of S30V, and basically they reduced the amount of vanadium in there. What does that mean? I don't know. I just read it on Google. I don't know. Whatever. So it's a good steel. From S35VN is a really good steel from what I've read, and it's way better than all of the other stainless and carbon plain Jane junk metal knives that I've had in the past. So it did cost a little bit of money, and I'll put some links to where I bought it from Knife Center, and you can see how much it cost. You know, it's like $100 and a half, a little more than $100 and a half, and I think that was actually with a deal on there. And they make the AD15 Light, and they make an AD10, so they make a few different versions of this, and I just really gravitated towards this one, and I'm just, man, it just feels really nice in the hand. The jipping on the back is really aggressive. Some people may say that's a little bit too much, but I have really, you know, tough alligator skin hands, so it's not bothering me any, and you can see I'm white knuckling it. And I mean, this thing is just so cool. Now let's try, they say that this could take a little getting used to, is trying to close it with one hand. So you can actually close it with one hand. That's cool. And you have to kind of defeat the mechanism when you're opening it. Man, that's a hard lock. Man, it's just so, just cool, just so beefy. So like, there you go. So I can take my fingers here. Wow, okay, now I get it. It's a little unusual to open because I'm squeezing the backside, the scorpion lock mechanism. I'm squeezing that down to push it out. But as I'm doing that, that makes it actually more difficult to open because watch. See how the back lifts up when you go to open it. So I have to get in the habit of relaxing and quit trying to gorilla grip it. Look at there. And to close it, I'm going to put it in my hand like this and let my fingers kind of go in that groove. Huh. And I'll get better at in time, because some of these guys, I mean, they just, you know, they can really open them quickly. But just like anything else, it's going to take a little getting used to. But man, does that have a really good feel. It's really buttery smooth, like just no sandy or gritty action on the open or the close. It's just so smooth. So smooth. And we've got some cool looking jipping along the back edge and around the bottom. We got this right here is like on the custom it's titanium, but on here it's aluminum, and aluminum is plenty strong enough in my opinion for what I'm going to be using it for. And you can actually switch the sides of the belt clip and remove it from here, flip it over and put it on this side depending on what your preference is. I'll have to wear it for a few days and just see which way I like to carry it, but most likely this will be the way I carry it. I carry it in my right pocket, and I feel that, man, that clip is on there. You can't move that thing at all, and it has 3 screws in it, and it also has a let's see, a hole for a lanyard if one was so inclined to put one. And that is a really stout clip. I can barely pick it up. That thing is going to latch down. Some people may say that these G10 scales may be a little aggressive for your clothes, but that really doesn't bother me. Man, this thing is just a really cool beefy knife. I'm gonna grab some paper and see if we can do a sharpness test real quick. Okay, I just got a regular piece of paper out of my sketch pad, and first let's see what I can do with the SOG. Ugh. Okay, so first of all, you got to realize that this was sharpened by me, so it doesn't have the absolute greatest edge, and I have used it quite a bit. I'm going to test the AD15 on a fresh sheet of this paper. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Wow, that's actually quite terrifying. Look how skinny these slivers are. That's a sharp knife right there, friends. You could you could really cut yourself really badly with this knife, man. And the bad thing is that I don't know if I'll ever be able to sharpen it that good again. I can sharpen pretty well freehand, but I would like to get a sharpening system that has the where it has the little ball and the rod and it's fixed. I would like to have one of those systems. They're cheaper than a Tormek, but I feel like as many blade type tools that I have, it would be a worthy investment. Get some of these fingerprints off of it. It would be a worthy investment to have a sharpening system instead of, you know, going at it like a caveman like I do everything else. Wow. So that is definitely sharp. For a size comparison, it's pretty much the same size as I was carrying already. The only difference is going to be that this thing weighs about 2 or 3 times as much as this one. Let me get my scale and see if we can get an accurate measurement on this thing. Alright, I've got my little Hornady scale. I calibrated it and zeroed it out. First I'm going to try the SOG. It's like right at 2.8 ounces. Pull that off to the side. Back to 0. I'm going to take this beast and close it up. Set it down. All else. I think that means that that is too much weight for it. Wow, okay. Man, such a beast of a knife. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, this thing would be a beast of a defensive weapon. And for me, knives are always a means of a backup defensive weapon. And if you for some reason don't carry a firearm, or you cannot get to it, or whatever the case may be, you always have something to defend your life with. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, if somebody pulled one of these out on me, I would definitely be running in the opposite direction, because there's not too many scenarios where I would want to get struck with this beast. Beautiful knife. I am so thrilled with this purchase. I almost am to the point that I don't want to carry it, because if anything happens to it, I'm just going to be completely disgusted with myself. But that's the whole reason I bought this, is because I want this to be part of my EDC. All right, y'all. That was the AD15, designed by Andrew Demko and produced by Cold Steel. If y'all have one of these, or any variation of the AD15, let me know down in the comment section what you think about it and how this knife has treated you since you had it. I think everybody should carry a knife. I think that's not just a man thing. It's a man, woman, or whatever you consider yourself. I think everybody should carry a blade and keep it sharp. Anyway, make sure you don't cut yourself. Put a knife in your pocket, and y'all come back now. Jesus.